Hello, family. Welcome to the channel. Today, I wanted to talk about trauma and why you need to diagnose yourself whether you have experienced trauma from your past experience and it's actually affecting your future. Now, trauma is any kind of experience that shocks your nervous system, like it shocks you and it overwhelms your mind so much that you just can't forget it. Do you remember the time that you were betrayed by someone you thought would never betray you? Do you see you still remember it? Yes, that thing. Perhaps a particular tragic incident happened in your family that you have just been thinking about it, and anytime you think about it, it's like it just happened yesterday. Those are called traumatic events. Yes, some of you trusted people so much that you give them some amount of money to do something for you, and the way they betrayed you, it's not even about how they handled it, but the style with which they betrayed you was something you never saw coming, and it has become a traumatic event. Other people, your family, your parents didn't treat you well. You have passed through several situations that has affected you mentally. And because of that, you find it very difficult to trust. You find it difficult to actually give back to society, give your heart to society because you think someone is going to do what was done to you in the past. Now, listen, these traumatic events are something that you have to talk about and it's something you have to address because it actually dictates how you react to stimuli. It actually dictates how you behave around people. A lot of people have been in situations that they should have actually come out to talk, but they can't talk because the reactions they got sometime they opened up was threatening. Immediately they opened up, they got a lot of backlash. That also traumatized them. Because of that, for a very long time, they have never opened their mouth to talk about what is disturbing them. All these can be regarded as traumatic events. Now, listen, the reason why your brain cannot forget this is because of the pain, is because of the shock. The brain is programmed to protect itself. So now your brain is in survival mode. Anytime you are faced with something similar to those traumatic events, you are going to get what we call triggers. So much so that a person who has been betrayed, upon seeing certain signs of betrayal, is going to be triggered. And the person is going to be tempted to even accuse without even any form of evidence. See, someone who has been abused by parents or older people, they're always going to refrain, like they're always going to draw back because the brain gets triggers from all these events. Now, listen, the reason why maybe you've not started that business is because your previous business failed. Maybe the reason why you are not opening up so much in your current relationship is because your former relationship was a hell of a mess. Your former relationship was a mess. And all these things affect your future progress. Now, let me tell you a couple of things that this trauma is doing to you right now. The first thing is it alters the way you think. So much so that an average person, a normal person who has not experienced these traumatic events, is going to be more open. However, a person who has experienced a traumatic event is going to be altered in a way. Some people are going to live in a shell. Some people are not going to open up. Some people are going to be afraid of new relationship. Some people are going to be afraid of putting their ideas across board because this trauma affected the way they think. So the normal way they would have thought about issues have been altered because of this trauma. This trauma also changes the way they feel about issues. So do you see there are certain people when you mention some topics to them, the way they react is different from an average person. Some people, when you talk about particular things, they are going to be very angry. Some people are going to be feeling so much stress. When you tell them to, oh, like, don't worry, venture into a new relationship, they have so much stress towards it because of their trauma. So in this case, the trauma has altered the way they feel about issues. It alters the way you react. There are a lot of people who have hyper alertness because of trauma. I remember I was speaking to a lady friend who had been attacked at gunpoint. And you see, these robbers came with machete, like a whole lot of accoutrements, just trying to rob them. And you see, she had never experienced that in her life. So immediately it happened to her. She called me and was like, Wache, this is what happened to me in the morning when I was going to work. And it has, like, I've been traumatized today. What do you think? And you see, when she was talking, the whole thing was relaxed too. But do you know, it's been about a year since that thing happened. But anytime she goes out in the morning, she's afraid. Every time she goes out in the morning, she's like, would it happen again? And a whole lot. So even when she's walking around and someone appears to be a little bit sketchy, or someone appears to uh, be acting similar to these robbers, she has a hyper alertness. That is the same thing with people who have been cheated on, people who have been bullied, people who have been abandoned by their family, people who have been actually abused. All these people have some hyper alertness. So when they see patterns that appear to mimic the same kind of thing, they have hyper alertness. So in this way, the trauma has affected your reaction. A normal person, a normal person who has not faced this trauma is going to react differently. But when you have faced this kind of trauma, you are going to behave totally different. So listen, I understand you and I know what you are passing through. You see, I have failed several times in my life at certain things that I ventured in. I have been disappointed by friends, loved ones, family, and people that I thought they could never harm me. And I know how it feels because, you see, up to this time, I keep having screenshots, I keep having flashbacks of what would have happened if these people didn't fail me. But in spite of all these experiences, you have to let that also go. You have to let your trauma go so that you can embrace new feelings. I know it's not easy. For those of you who have been betrayed, for those of you who are passing through any traumatic event, comment in the comment section. How do you feel? What is going on with you? How are you coping? Because I understand all these experiences. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Yes, when you start a business and someone somewhere is just stabbing you in the back, you thought you had a friend who cared about you, and all that you realized was this friend was stabbing you mercilessly. And when you've got to find out that that was the truth of whatever was going on, you were left with the pieces. You were left with your heart just on the ground, and you had to pick up your pieces of broken heart and just move on. You see, these things are not events that people just overcome. It takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of fortitude for one to overcome this. I understand you perfectly well. And this is the mood series where we talk about educational stuff, things that really matter, and things that will make you happy. Comment in the comment section what you think. Subscribe if you are new here because this is a new channel. I would really be glad if you assist, you share your support, your like, comment, and make me feel seen. Make me know that you are enjoying the content. The name is Boache. Till we meet again, stay safe.